everyone, I'm back and the snow has melted. I don't know if you heard, but in my area there was a lot of snow, and so I didn't do very many videos. In fact, what I did was I went out and played in the snow with my kids, which was fantastic. And so that's where I was. I wanted to talk about making these master pages. And here, I'm going to sit down. I was standing up because I love making them, but some people are getting a little bit confused about copyright. And so I wanted to talk about 1922. And, you know, the date might have changed this January. I've heard little things about the date possibly have changed. I'm just going to stick with 1922 for right now. 1922 means 1922 and before, in the USA, it is public domain. Okay? So if you find a book and it has a copyright before 1922, you're good to use it as far as copying. And I don't necessarily mean copying and selling, although that's a thing. You should not copy anything that is 1922 after 1922. You should not copy it to sell, to redistribute, you should not scan it into your computer and manipulate it, unless you're manipulating it to the point where it's unrecognizable to the original creator. And so again, I just stay away from all that. 1922 or before, good to go. And sometimes I even just look for 1921. So Lindsay Zenor, and I'll put a link to her video. Actually, I'm going to make a playlist of like junk journal info, copyright info. That's what I'm going to do. And she talked about these three places: Project Gutenberg, archive.org, Biodiversity Heritage Library on Flickr. And I've been to those sites. I have another site that I like as well. And other people have other sites. But if you have not made the image, you have to make sure it's before this date in the United States. I don't know what other countries, and I know I have some viewers from other countries, and that's awesome. But I just wanted to say that it has to be before that date. So on Tracy Fox's cool Facebook group, people were talking about copying things, and she had said, whoa, 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 let's back up. And it's really true. So I wanted to go through a few things with you on my master boards that I am going to copy and show you where things came from. So let me see if I'm in camera here. Okay. So for example, this right here is tea-stained graph paper. That's fine. Here, this is just really old paper, and I'm not prepared. Here, like a really old tablet of paper, and it has some like different coloring on the edges, or like right there. It's just a little bit differently colored. So that's fine. Use that. All of these other images here I have gotten from the public domain. Okay, or they're in the public domain. So I'm good to go. I can copy. Same with here. Now here is just a piece of paper that I've tea dyed, and some other things are on top of it. So that's my image. I made that image. It's perfectly fine. I can use it and copy it. I'm working on this one here, and this is actually a graph that I made in, I don't know which program, probably Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, but I made this graph. I put the lines there. I printed it out. It's my graph paper. And now kind of going back, I'm thinking, I didn't make that graph paper or that graph paper. I need to look that up. So, same with this here. This is like notebook paper, and now I'm thinking, I didn't make that. So, it made me think. So I just wanted to tell you a few things. So yeah, these are on the back. You know, I have my printable, and I tea stained it, but before I tea stained it, I printed this graph paper. So that's the same there. So that's okay. I wanted to put, I have some, this is an avocado dyed tag, and I wanted to put that on one of them. Maybe I can put it and cover up the possibly illegal, I don't know, but we'll see. But I'm going to put some tags on that I've made. This is a tag that I've made. Well, I didn't make the tag. The tag I tea dyed, and then this is a print of a cedar leaf with some iridescence. So if you wanted to print things from nature, that would be a good idea. You know, if you have your eco dyed, this would be something that you could use. And I like this, at least this leaf. This is watercolor paper. That's a pretty color, actually. So I might use little bits of that too. So those are things that I've been thinking about, working with. I have this folder that I've called Public Domain, and inside, although a few things aren't, I know what is not. These are not. Okay. But inside, like here, this is a real newspaper from England, pre-1922. I need to look up their laws and see what their laws are. But this is like in the 1800s. So I know if their laws are similar or the same, I can copy it and reproduce it. But I'm just going to go through and show you some of that is the scan of this page. So I was just, let me get it out. I was just looking to see, here I'll do side by side, how it scanned, how it printed out on my printer. And so you can see it's a little darker here. But a lot of the images came out, and this is just my scan. And I use kind of light tones. It's a lot greener. So maybe I need to take some of the green out. And I do know Photoshop. I used to teach it. So that's the original. There's the scan. So I need to play around with the greenness to get it the way I like it. So that's what it looks like. And then I can use these on anything I want. So I know that this is perfectly fine to, you know, use because of there's no copyright issue, and maybe I'll avoid that for right now. So I was just thinking, you know, I could cover this tag. So let's just do that. Do I have two pieces here? Oh, I was started to make some labels. So I can't wait to work with those. But I like this guy, and just gonna cut right there. And I did get a new glue stick. Thank you for being there at the store when I needed you the most. But what I'm saying is, after you make these master boards and you scan it in, if you just need a quick, make a quick tag for something, or you want to you want to you know, have these pieces, you could print these out a whole bunch of times and then put them in your journal in different ways, and you would have a cohesive journal. So also, if some of the papers are too thick or too thin, now you can use them, and you know they're on whatever paper you printed it out. You know how that paper acts, and it's just easier. So I'm just trimming this tag to kind of show you. I didn't even do it straight, but who cares about that? So there's my tag here, and I do not have my hole punch, but I could punch a hole. I could put more things on it. You know, I could put more public domain images on it, or I could just put things on it, but this is my base. So I just wanted to say that about copying and copyright, because like I've noticed some people are copying things just for their own purposes, and I would never like turn anyone in or anything like that, but it makes our community better if we know the laws and we help each other stick to them. So here's some things that I've found that are just copyright free that I found on the internet. Now, if you had an image or you had a letter, especially if the stamp was before 1922, you'd be okay. But if you had a handwritten letter, that would be fine to copy, like this. This is in the public domain, but if it wasn't and I owned the letter, I could copy it, okay? Unless it had something on it that was copyright. But these are just a few things I found from, I really like these guys right here. From quick searches, nothing too involved. But if it wasn't 1922 or earlier, I just didn't even look at it. I just didn't even go there, because you don't want to get attached to something. And here's some more of the labels that I'm working on in Photoshop. So I like them. But yeah, so I think we all just need to kind of remind ourselves, and I'm not trying to preach or anything, but I always want to do things the right way. I think that, oh, more labels. I think that that's important. And I think that as being an artist, you wouldn't want somebody to take your work and copy it, right? So I don't want to take anybody else's work and copy it unless it's legal to do that. And so anyway, that's my little spiel about masterboards, and I will post a link to Lindsay's video. I think she does a really awesome job talking about it, and you should watch it. It's not too long. It's perfect. So I'm not trying to recreate it, just trying to spread the word. Anyway, hope you all are having a great Sunday. It's Sunday today where I am, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.